What's up, small fries? I'm Sera Proto, and I hope you liked the video. Here's something new and fun. Cancelled video ideas. I did a poll and a lot of you want to be YouTubers, so this is a fun series I can do, because this is something that you will encounter for sure. When you do YouTube for any amount of time, you'll come up with a surplus of ideas. For a lot of reasons, they might not work out. You might think it wouldn't do well, it might be something outside of your niche, or you might think that you're not really the best person to be making that specific video. Personally, if I can't turn them into videos, then I may as well make a video about why I don't, won't, or can't make a video about the subject. That way I'm still benefiting from their existence in some way. I know, I'm a genius. Also, if you're not a YouTuber, you might find it interesting what I think are bad videos for me. You probably got the impression that I make every single video idea that I come up with, and that's just not the case. Not every idea can be a good one. And just like with editing, some stuff just doesn't make it to video. This first one is about collabs. Not really a video or series itself, but a style of video instead. I've been wanting to do these for a long time, and my New Year's resolution, aside from hitting 20k subs this year, was to do more collabs. I have two ways I do collabs on this channel. The first is cameos, and the second is actual collabs where the guest comes on and makes the video with me. Cameos are probably the easiest ones to do. Anytime you watch a YouTuber and you hear another YouTuber you know read off a line for them, that's a cameo, which is basically a guest appearance where the guest comes in, looks at the camera, and says, "Hey, you all know me." This is the vast majority of collabs that I do. Now, I didn't really cancel making collabs so much as I'm not successfully getting them set up. I think the big problem for this is that when you tell someone that you're a YouTuber, you get a handful of reactions. The first one is usually, they're a YouTuber, so they probably make drama videos. I really don't want them making one about my stuff. The second being, I've never heard of them, so I'm going to ignore them. And the third being, oh, I know them, holy crap, be cool, be calm, don't weird them out. And the results of those usually comes in one of two outcomes. They either respond, or they leave you unread. Understandable. I often read a message and think, I'll reply later, then forget to reply. But I also understand not wanting to reply because I'm a YouTuber. Like the first one said, a ton of YouTubers make videos about any form of drama that they can find, and no one wants a drama video made about them. I get this left on red response for species that do have some drama associated with them, which is why I've noticed that that's probably the case. It did get easier to get these kinds of collabs once I built up a reputation as being nice, but most of the time I'll message, get left on red, make the video anyway, and then the owner shows up in the comments. Like, it's cool that you're here, but this video could have been a lot better if you helped. The collab portion of these videos is usually just me asking the owner for links to their important canonical info, which saves me time and guarantees that the important information is the only stuff that makes it into the video. Links to specific pics that they definitely want to be included, a short paragraph as a message for the community, or a voice recording of the same. Maybe a short interview. Something like this could be done in about an hour over the course of whatever time frame they prefer. They could do a whole hour in a day, or they could just do like 10 minutes a day until we got everything set up. People are busy, but these things are just there to make the video the best it can be, which is only beneficial to the owner as they're getting free advertising. But the issue could really be as simple as they're too busy, or forgot to reply, or their DMs are already so full of people that they miss the message. I might start DMing and then at them in a tweet just to make sure they see it. It's probably no surprise that the best creators I've worked with are the ones who commission me for a video. These are people who are usually fans and understand the way that these videos work. They don't try to control the process or my words. They give me what I asked for, and they get a banger in return. But as I got more known, people started recognizing me before I could even explain who I was. These situations are really funny, but it's also really disarming. I feel caught off guard when someone knows a ton about me, and I don't know anything about them. It feels like I'm talking to my stalker. Joking, of course. But it's still way more preferable than being left on red. As you can see, it's not so much that I don't do collabs anymore. It's just harder to get them now than it was before. Some people even know me from my more popular videos about Citra, Chimerion, and Mochi Raptors, and I think that gives the impression that I'm a drama YouTuber, when in actuality, these 4 videos are just a very loud minority. I've made less than 10 drama videos out of the hundreds of videos that I've made. So I think while these videos are the reason people know who I am, they do make my work harder, as people get the impression that I'm an asshole. When really, I don't mention drama in my videos unless there's an unavoidable pedo elephant in the room. The second type of collab is the stuff where another content creator comes onto the video with me and works with me to make the video. Maybe I make one video for their channel and they make one for mine. I call this a video trade. It's probably actually called a video trade. I've never looked up what it's actually called, but I call it a video trade. Maybe they write and I record, or maybe I write and we do it together. These ones are much harder to set up. Videos on YouTube are very personal to their creators. Each video is made with the creative voice of that one specific YouTuber. That's why you'll still watch a video about the same subject from a different creator. And it's also why when you watch an AI generated video, it's just not as good, because it doesn't have a creative voice. It's robotic and sterile sounding. It doesn't sound like a human or a intergalactic space sheep shrimp is talking to you. But it's because the creative voice between these two is different enough that those videos that you've seen before in the same subject but by different creators do feel like entirely new videos. It's because of the distinct, creative voices behind them. You get perspectives you wouldn't otherwise get because each, video is art, even if the person making it doesn't realize that they are an artist. They are making art because they are taking the culmination of their personal experiences and putting them in video form. And that is what gives it its voice. That's why AI doesn't have a creative voice, because it hasn't lived. But it's like watching the same movie, but made by different directors or different editors. They're just very different seeming. When I make a video, I have a very specific creative voice. I am very verbose. I'm funny. I provide constructive criticism. Some of them are artsy, and they are all very scripted. I also tend to view things through the lens of everything is art, and I find weird things beautiful that other people don't really consider beautiful. Maybe just they don't think about it that much. Each video is a very Sera Things video, if you get what I mean. By bringing someone else in on the project, I give up some of that creative voice, and sometimes that results in a new video with a unique voice that's something special. Something entirely different than either creator would make on their own, making something really special and unique. I almost called it beautiful, but I worry that giving up too much control makes it unrecognizable as a Sera Things video. The other problem is that I'm the only one in my niche. You might be thinking, what about so-and-so? They do original videos. You're right, they probably do, but you only need to watch one of their videos on a specific species and one of mine to realize that they're entirely different. I just don't make videos the same way they do. They make them as a way to go, hey, look at this cool thing I found. Here's why I think they're cool. And they're right. But my videos are like cataloging the entire history of the species and covering everything in detail. I'm trying to think of how to describe this right. It's like I make videos where I read creepypastas, and other people make videos about horror in general and sometimes mention how cool a certain pasta is. I am the original species YouTuber. I am him.
I'm him. I've been him. I will continue to be him. You can't trust me. I don't even trust myself. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm getting too much money.
If you catch my drift. The people who exist in this niche are people like Beta, and he is very cool, of course. But a collab is supposed to be mutually beneficial. I don't think saying, hey Beta, want a collab? I'll give you absolutely nothing in return, is a very tempting offer. So my options on who I can collab with is pretty limited. The majority of furries don't have an interest in original species, and that's true among furry content creators too. So I don't even bother asking. People don't want to do collabs for things outside of their niche, but once one of them makes an original species, you know for sure that I'll be in their DMs. I've also had people ask to collab, and they have no idea what kind of videos I make, and I don't want to come across sounding like that, so I haven't bothered trying. I think I'd fare better doing collabs on my streams, but again, it falls back to that it needs to be a mutually beneficial thing. My YouTube is doing great, of course, but my streams are less so, and there are a lot of reasons for this. No one wants to leave the app they're on to watch somewhere else. People who watch YouTube videos mostly don't watch streams, and my streams have nothing to do with my niche. So if I do manage to get someone off of YouTube and onto Twitch, they'll see that I don't make furry streams, and then they'll bail. That's fine. You like what you like, and I don't expect you to make an exception for me. But yeah, it's hard to approach someone and be like, I think you're neat. Want to do a collab that won't benefit you in any way? There are a few people I'd approach to collab with, regardless of their size, but I'd have to know them somewhat. There are a few collab ideas that I have had, But they involve them doing art, and I give them a challenge, which isn't super appealing to the artist as they're the one doing the actual work, and all they'd get from me is a funny idea. Also, the ideas I had would require them being a quick artist, which not every artist is a quick artist. If I was still doing the podcast, it'd be easier to do these collabs. It'd be easier to find people who just want to come on and talk a lot or be interviewed. But why I canceled podcasts is an entirely other video. I also think my driven nature kind of freaks people out. I care a lot about making my channel work, so I can be a little intense, and I talk numbers and business a lot. I sound like a robot when it comes to YouTube, and I think that puts people off. I would still love to do these collabs, of course, especially the art ones. The ones I did with Rook were very fun and funny, but again, that's another video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks to my patrons on Patreon. Furries like these keep me yapping. So thanks again to Rask, Ver, WildKitty69, Beeve, Jesse for Real, Bait, Cryptid Artha, Sly, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Kit Chimera, and Malding Brick. See you later, and keep it shrimple.